Pete Moore and it's PCM Guns, and now something a little bit different from what I'm used to. I'll be honest, I'm not a long range kind of shooter. I think if I had access to longer ranges I would be, but that's just the way it is. And this gun's not out of my comfort zone because it's very nice. It's the new Savage Precision Elite rifle. The difference here is it's the impulse model and it's a straight pull. There's the same model as this in their standard 110 action, which is a turn bolt action. They look pretty much identical. The real difference is that the gun is about 1.5 pounds heavier, and believe you me, this is one piece of heavy metal. The reason I've got it is I went to Savage's open day hosted by Viking at the West London Shooting School, and instantly put my name down on two rifles, the B series 17 HMR, which is up now, so you've sort of seen it, which is their little rimfire bolt gun, which is really nice, very precise. And then this big beast, because I'm a straight pull shooter, I shoot an R8 anyway, and I was intrigued to see how the Americans might approach a straight pull compared to the Europeans. The gun is really and purely designed for PRS, precision rifle shooting type scenarios. Maybe you could use it as a cull rifle if you were sort of seriously culling from a vehicle, but at 16.5 pounds fully bombed up, it's a bit too heavy to lump around. Basically what you've got here, you've got MDT ACC chassis, which is again impressive. Massive long fore end. It's got a full length ACRA rail, ACRA rail all the way along, so you can mount what you want on that if you want to. It's M-lock, and all I've done here is put on a little Picatinny section, and I've got an Accutech bipod on it, what I use for a lot of testing. The free float is amazingly generous, as is the barrel. The diameter here must be getting on for 1 inch. It's threaded 5/8 by 24 UNEF, and it comes as standard with a muzzle brake. But the barrel is incredibly good. I was talking to my friend Chris Parkin, who writes a gun march to write for me, and he's talking about, said that he'd been shooting one of these in America up to 1,000 yards, and he said the thermal stability on the barrel is just amazing, and Chris knows what he's talking about, so I don't disagree. But it is, as you can probably see, a pure shooting machine. You get down behind it, you get comfy, and you start shooting. You don't carry it too far unless you're rich. You pay somebody to carry it from your car park to the firing range. The butt is fully adjustable by these wheels here. Basically, you slack off with 2 locks, and you can spin this up and down, and it gives you comb height, and also you can move the comb forward or back a little bit. When you're done, you lock it in. Same for the butt pad. Slack off the 2 screws, and you can wind the butt in or out as required. On this, you can also alter the height of the recoil pad so you can get it more on your shoulder, and you can also slightly angle it off so it gets more contact in the shoulder pocket. Plus, you've got a gripping hook here, and there's one single M-lock, so you can put a monopod on it. What you have here is a near vertical pistol grip, which is actually very comfortable. And if you can see here, if you slack these screws off, you can move the grip forward or back about 1/2 inch to adjust for how you want your trigger finger position, which is good. Being a Savage, it has an Accu trigger, which is a blade in blade. Here you can see there. You push in the inner blade, which unlocks the trigger to fire. The weight of the adjustment is 1.5 to 4 pounds, and it's user adjustable. And typical Accu trigger, you cannot go too low because it just goes into a lockout position, which you then just reset it, which is great. Big fat magwell here, and you've got an ambidextrous release paddle. Insertion's a bit weird because if you push it straight up, it's very hard. So you angle it in, or you can just pop the catch and push it straight up that way. Perhaps the most exciting thing about this rifle is the bolt system. It's a straight pull, but the action is quite simple. You've got like an unlocking button here if you're cocked and you want to just open the action up. You press the button, it opens up. But for firing use, hang back to safety, push it off, boom, pull back, push forward. I have to say I found the action a little bit, should we say, more solid than the R8. The R8's very smooth, and it seems to me moving an awful lot of metal here, and it just does feel a little bit clunky. But then again, I have only just been shooting this thing, and I'm going to do a sort of a fast fire with it to see what we can get out of it. But it's very clever. The thing I really like about it is you can remove the bolt. Just sort of drop your pad down, press the catch, and the bolt comes out. You can probably see here, locking is by 6 ball bearings in a ring, and basically as you push the lever forward, it pushes the ball bearings out into like a cutout into the barrel extension and locks it solid. It's very similar to how Heim do it on their SR30, which is a rifle that predates this by a good few years. Plus you can change the head if you want to change caliber, and you can also change the barrel. It's not like whopping out one from a Blaser, that sort of thing, but the barrel nut here is external, and I believe that you can get, in America, you can get replacement barrels if you need them, or different caliber barrels, and I think the gunsmith might have to get a spanner in here to do it. But there is the potential here, if you shoot a barrel out on one of these things, which if you're shooting serious PRS, because you're getting a lot of rounds down the range in a season, then you might burn a barrel out quite quickly. But that's quite clever. The other thing which we'll need to look at in more detail is the fact you can take this bolt, you can swap the bolt handle to the left side, and you can alter the angle of the handle as to where it is in terms of how you operate it. This is built as a right-handed gun, however a lefty can use it quite easily. When I was down at the Viking deal, Rack and Load, who's a left hooker, he had this converted for him. It takes about a minute or so, and he had no problem with ejecting cases. So really it's getting on to being a very sort of user-friendly type rifle from that point of view. It came with a Leopold Mark 5 HD, where are we, 7-35 by 56 front focal plane scope, with their usual system. You've got the lock here, you've got like a zero stop here to zero it. You've got parallax. There's no illumination on this, but it does come with a little throw lever, which is quite nice, and it's fast focus. As standard, the rifle comes with a 20 MOA Picatinny rail, as you might expect for a gun of this type. So it is a beast. Trigger's good. Action, I'm starting to sort of get my head around it. But overall, if you're looking for this sort of equipment, then this is probably what you want. I was talking to a colleague of mine. He says that this factory team, Savage got a factory team, and they just literally pull a gun off the rack, and they're doing very well with these in sort of, you know, out to 1,000 yards and probably further. I think probably for that sort of thing, 6.5 Creedmoor will be better than 308. So this one's in 308. Okay, let's just look at how the we switch the bolt handle. There's a plunger here, and as you can see, this like little cover is one-sided. So what you do, you press down on the plunger, and at the same time you slide this little bit here off. If you can see, it's just like a little cap, and then from here you can pull out the handle, and because it's splined, you can put it forward. Here we go, like that. So it's slightly forward, which perhaps is easier to operate, or you can pull it out and put it back, entirely how you want to do it. I found that after playing with it, slightly forward is quite good. Not too much, but just enough to give you a bit more pullback. Now it's out. This little, it's like a little nut, I suppose, hollow nut. No, it's when I did that, I applied pressure to the cocking piece as such, because as you can see, it springs out. Then you push it, hold it, like so. You can use this as a little lever. So I have, that's it there. Then you simply put your bolt in, however you want to do it, like that, or like that, and then you offer up this little cap like that, so it's touching the plunger. Get your screwdriver, whatever, push down, and then you push it on and it's locked back in position, and then you offer it up like so, press your bolt catch forward, fiddle it in, and there we are. Left hand operation with the handle angled forward. I find for some shooting off a bipod, I would sooner use the action left-handed, because that means I can maintain my firing grip and everything on the rifle and just use my supporting hand to operate the action. It's entirely up to you. Okay, let's see the bolt in action. Got 6 rounds in here. Get my ears on. So mag goes in, locks, picks up the first round, tang mounted safety there, and all we do, shoot, push, pull. It doesn't feel quite so clunky as it did when I first started shooting it, but as you can see, it's quite a fast action. Whether that appeals to you or not, I know a lot of people who don't think straight pulls have much to offer, and they'd probably go for the Precision Elite with a 110 chassis, which is the standard turn bolt. It's bugger all recoil even without a moderator on or a muzzle brake, because so it weighs a ton, therefore it's mitigating all that recoil, which is excellent. For me, I'd go for the Creedmoor version 6.5 rather than 308. But saying that, I've got some Barnes 175 grain precision match here. We're fighting the rain here, so I won't be doing much accuracy testing today because the target's already been wiped off the backers twice. I'll pick another day for that. But I just did a couple of groups with it once it was zeroed, and it was shooting touching groups only 100 meters. But it does say if the gun can do that 100 meters, then you step it out. If you're a good shot, then it's going to do a lot more. So that was a very brief look at the Savage Precision Elite Impulse straight pull. I hope you enjoyed that. It was eye-opening for me. Nice to get hold of a rifle to see how other people do the same sort of thing. So tell your friends, support the channel, tell me. You need to speak to me, it's the usual pmoore.shootingsports@gmail.com, and I'll see you later because I've got some more good toys coming. Stay safe, shoot straight.